Want to almost double your egg production this winter? Forget expensive feeds and gimmicky tricks. I'm about to show you a foolproof method that's keeping my chickens laying even when it's -5 degrees outside. It's cheap, easy, and guaranteed to work, you guys, if you follow my steps. Your sheep, pigs, and even geese will thank you for this. Stay with me because secret number 3 at the end will blow your mind. Imagine turning a simple bag of wheat into a superfood loaded with proteins for your flock to help them so that they lay all winter long. This method not only saves you money, but it helps improve your flock's health. And if it's our first time meeting, my name is Joan Haney. My family and friends call me the Prepper Mom. I've been perfecting this system for 12 years, and today I'm going to share it with you. This is where it starts, plain old wheat kernels. There are a lot of different grains that you could use for making your sprouts for your chickens and your livestock on your farm. We've tried numerous, including barley, but the animals didn't like that as well. So we use wheat. We really enjoy using wheat. By day 4, these little grains become a super powerhouse, and they help to increase your eggs production and also help to improve their health as well. And here's the kicker, they're not just for chickens. Your sheep, pigs, every type of livestock loves these, and they're good for them. They're healthy and nutritious. Ready to make this happen, you guys? Let me walk you through the steps. Grab a notebook if you like, or if you wait till the end, I'll show you how you can get the free instructions. This is the process that I have perfected over the years, and it's going to help you a lot and blow you away. I did this video 4 to 6 years ago, but I've learned a lot since even then that I'm sharing with you today. Okay guys, so the first step is to start with 4 cups of whole wheat, and you're going to pour that into your bowl and then cover it with a couple of inches of water. Okay, so we poured our wheat into the bowl. Now we're going to cover it with 2 inches of lukewarm water. When you use the lukewarm water, that helps the kernels to open faster. I like to do that way, and just make sure that they're covered really, really well. If you see any shaft floating at the top, go ahead and take that out, and I'll show you what it looks like when there's peas in the bag. Sometimes what the producers, see there's a little bit of shaft in here, sometimes at the granaries or where they are processing the grain and putting it into bags, they will switch from peas or one other type of grain, and then there'll be some residue in there, and it's not, it starts to stink in a few days. So you want to when you soak it overnight, the next morning you want to rinse that out real good. Okay, so for day 1 seeds that you've soaked overnight, you want to take these. This is the one I just put the water in because I forgot to save the ones from this morning. I already had put them in the tote. So this is what your colander looks like. I got mine from Amazon. This is an 8-quart colander. So we're just going to pretend, I'm going to put this in here just for teaching's sake. But oh my gosh, this is awesome because it actually has, you guys, it has some of the pea in it. So you want to go ahead and rinse your bowl out. So I'm doing that. I've rinsed my bowl out. Now it's ready. Oh, missed a couple. So now it's ready to go ahead, and tonight, if this was first thing in the morning, now see how, you might be able to see how there's a little bit of green? That's the powder that I was telling you guys about. Shazam! I didn't know that was going to happen. Okay, so you're just going to keep going back and forth. We're pretending this is tomorrow morning, okay? And you'll notice, you'll see that the water's a little bit, it's not clear because of that pea powder. So you can lay it flat. I'm just turning it to the side to make it more visible, and just keep going over it. So basically what I do is just take your little nozzle and just keep going around and move the sprouts all over the place, you guys, because that just helps with the cleaning process. And when you do this, that powder is going to just go ahead and fall down to the bottom. And then I'm going to show you something that I forgot I needed to show you. When you do this, you know how sinks have this little type of drain? You don't want to use this type of drain, you guys. Look at those holes. They're too daggone big. Okay, let me stick that up there. So we're almost done rinsing. You want to do this really good. And see, and I'm being a little bit rough with these. So when your sprouts are, you know, day 2, 3, and 4, you want to be careful with them. Okay, so now whenever I do this, the water runs clear. That's coming out of here. You can see that. So you just turn it off, and then I turn it onto its side. And then you would want to just put it into your tray. But I already have this morning's, I already have it. It's afternoon now here. And so day 1 that's soaked. See, now this has got enough water. Even a teeny bit of water is coming out. That's okay. So this, you would just dump it in your tray. And I'm going to show you the tray. So this is a busing tray, you guys. You can get these at the restaurants, supply stores. They work really, really nice. It's just a regular busing tray. So this morning, I took the grain from the colander and just dumped it real hard right into here so that it would come out, and then kind of wiped it off, spread it all over the place. But now I need to, let me get these sprouts out of here. Oh, before I do that, watch this, you guys. See, you'll have some weed. If you're careful, not a whole lot will come out. I wasn't as careful as I should have been. So you want to take your little drainer here and just do like so, and see how much peace, how much mess is in there. And trust me, in about 2 or 3 days, that would stink to high heaven. So you just get rid of that, throw that out, and then rinse your little strainer out. This is a mesh strainer. These work really, really well. And then rinse your sink out. And then I'm going to just go ahead and put, this is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and put these back in the bowl. Normally they're going straight into a tray unless I'm going outside first thing in the morning and I've already drained them, and I haven't come back in with the empty. See, I didn't do a super good job. There's a teeny bit left there. You want to make sure to get all of that, you guys, because it does smell. And I want everything perfect so the animals are happy. Okay, that's the main thing. Oops, I got water in there. We'll just put this to the side. I'll drain it a little bit. I'll take care of this in a little bit for time's sake. Okay, so now I've got my colander, and these were rinsed this morning, but they actually need to be wet. Again, you need to rinse them at least twice a day, morning and night. If you do it 3 times, it helps a ton. So if you'll look here, you'll notice, guys, these are already starting to sprout, and they're only 1 day old. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm not sure if I get close, if it's going to mess up or not. Okay, so let me show you something. Trust me, you waste a lot of this stuff or drive yourself batty. Take your colander, put it in your sink up towards the edge, and gently turn your tray, your bus tray, over to the side, and just real gently, you want to just kind of scoop it out and then hit the bottom of it. It'll come down here, and gently aim for the middle. If you do that, you'll hardly have any that fall down. And this is the goal. This is what you want to happen, okay? And then my tray's got a little bit of grain in it, so I'm gonna just swish it around and just pour it on top. Okay, now this is important. You want to make sure, and see, we want to have our lukewarm water, okay? Just go back and forth, back and forth. You want to make sure every single kernel gets a little bath, okay? Because by doing that, you're wetting it, and it likes that moisture. Like I said, if you do it 3 times a day, it's even better, okay? And then just turn that off. Let this come over the side, and you'll be able to see water coming up on the side over here. And but then it drains down through the holes. And then just have it come over. See, the water's coming out. And then I'm going to just bring my busing tray up. Let me put it here so you can see it. Okay, so I'm bringing my busing tray up. Just kind of smack it down once, and then scoop this all out. And then you want to just kind of level this out gently all over. And then that's done. And then we'll go in the front room, and I'll show you what day 2, 3, and 4 look like. I'm down here. Okay, now we're in the front room where the magic happens. So this is where I have my trays during the day, where they're not real close to the wood stove, and they don't need sunlight. I have the blinds drawn just to be able to do this video, but they don't need light, they don't need grow lights or anything like that. They'll sprout on their own without that. And that being said, I want to make sure to remind you guys, make sure your seed, if you are storing it in the house during the winter because it's cold as heck, you know, below freezing outside and whatnot, that you don't store it near the wood stove. We did that one time, about a month ago, accidentally, and my husband brought it in. Normally we keep it in this front room, but we didn't do that, and it wasn't sprouting, and I typed this out. Heat damages the grain's ability to sprout by killing the enzymes inside. That's what happens. It does that. No enzymes, no sprouts. Okay, so just so you know what to expect, I want to show you what it's going to look like. So you've already seen day one, and this is actually later in the day, so they're already sprouting real well. Okay, so this is day two, and notice how they've sprouted even better. And I haven't wet them this afternoon, so they need water on them. Be real careful with them so you don't break them. Okay, so this is day three. And look at the difference, you guys. Holy cow, look at that, how they're growing. Chickens know what's coming to the next day or so. Now let me tell you something right now. This is an example. These haven't been watered since this morning, and they're already starting to clump together. That'll happen just like you do if you're raising fodder. So that's another reason for rinsing them, because you don't want them in a big clump, or I don't want them that way because I'm feeding them multiple different type animals. So I want to make sure everybody gets the same thing. And look at there. Here's a piece of corn. And it's sprouting too. Every once in a while you'll see a wild grain that's not supposed to be there, but it won't hurt anything. And then the last one here is, this is day four. This is ready to feed tomorrow morning. So this is what, and see, it's clumping together. I actually just remember, I didn't water this morning. And that's why it looks a little bit kind of darker. It's not as healthy looking. So this is how big it gets, you guys, whenever day four. So what you're going to do is tomorrow I will take these out to the barn, and then the sprouts that I'm sprouting overnight will go into this container, and then I will move all of these down, and the day one goes on the end down here. And so that's how I keep it straight. Of course you can look at it and tell, but that's what helps me. So anyway, just wanted to show you that real quick. Okay, another cool thing that I wanted to share with you, if you raise other livestock or considering raising other livestock in the future, I use sprouts to feed to my female either sows, especially my sheep, my Finn sheep, because Finn sheep, the world record is 9 live births, and in the United States it's 7. The most we've ever had is 6. So if I feed them good, but not a whole lot so they're fat, and then 2 weeks before I put the ram in with them, I flushed them. A lot of people use grain, but I discovered that's what I used to do, is flush them. They'll drop more eggs. You'll have a lot more lambs by doing that. So I found out that using sprouts works really, really well too, like the grain, but it's even healthier. And another thing I forgot to mention, you guys, the reason why we go 4 days and not 5, 6, 7, 8 more is sprouts. I was told this at the company where we buy in bulk. We get half a ton or 1 ton totes and store over the winter, and we feed all of our grain like that over the winter. We buy a half ton, full ton. And so when you take a sprout, he was telling me this, he's a very educated guy, knows a lot, and it's the source that we get our whole wheat from. It's non-GMO and organic farms. It's not certified organic, but they don't jump through the hoops to become certified organic, but they don't use sprays. So that's what drew me to them. But anyway, he was telling me that, he says on day 4, and I didn't know this, he said day 3, 4, the sprouts, literally the protein content, you guys, jumps to 40%, and after that it starts going down. So that's why we do 4 bussing trays, and as long as you keep a fresh bowl going every night and rinse them twice a day, you will continue to have sprouts all the time. So you don't have to wait 4 more days. So just keep it up if you want to have sprouts. Feed your animals. My geese go nuts. The second they hear us coming out the door in the morning, they know they're getting sprouts. So I hope that is helpful, and I'll share a little bit more with you here in just a minute. So I know there's going to be some of you guys out there who've had experience feeding fly larvae or all different types of worms and bugs and whatnot, protein to your animals, your chickens especially. This is about chickens, to help them have a healthier life and to live better, to be healthier. But the main goal of this video is to increase egg production. And going over the winter, when you're in a real climate, like I said at the beginning, it gets below 5 below here. So I'm not going to have any bugs outside, and I'm not raising them indoors. So the sprouts has been the easiest thing and most enjoyable. We have experimented over the years. Scott and I've been married 40 years, and we've experimented with everything that has to do with homesteading, prepping, survival, and all that kind of stuff. So, but this has worked the best. And we did have a 2 or 3 tiered fodder system one time, and it was great. The animals loved it, but it stunk so bad. It was unreal because it was indoors. So we like this the best. And there'll be some people too that are going to tell you just turn a light on, and that does work, you guys. And we've done that. Set a timer, so 5 o'clock or so in the morning, the light in the hen house or wherever you're keeping them, lights come on, and then it goes off about 10 o'clock at night, and that tricks their body into thinking it's spring, summer, and they start laying more. But in our experience, that raising the sprouts gives you the best results. Okay guys, so if you've been liking what you've been seeing so far, hit that like button below and subscribe, and also stay to the end and I'll tell you how you can get the free instructions for what we've done today with those steps to make it real easy. I've got videos coming up real soon on everything to do in the winter on the homestead, your farm, your ranch, your bug out location, whatever or wherever you may be. Okay guys, so let's recap here real quick. So all you got to do is soak, rinse, and repeat for 4 days, and then you'll have awesome sprouts and superfoods like this to feed your livestock as well. Thanks for watching and being a part of this community. Together we're thriving through the seasons. So join us next time. Oh, I almost forgot. That free gift that I promised you, or PDF, just look below, guys. That's where you can get it. Look below and click on it and watch it and let it help you. See you in the next video.